I'm Shauna, and I am going to teach you how to make hash brown casserole. This side dish is actually good for any occasion. With the holiday seasons coming up, it's a great addition for holiday seasons, or a work function, or a church function, or something like that. First, I'm going to go over the ingredients that you're going to need to make this dish. You're going to need a ½ cup of melted margarine. It's about 1 stick. You can use any type of margarine. You're going to need 2 pounds of frozen hash browns, 1 can of cream of chicken, 1 8-ounce carton of sour cream, 2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese, and a ½ cup to 1 cup of crushed cornflakes, or my kids actually like it with Ritz crackers. Or you could use Frosted Flakes. It gives a little bit of sweetness to it. So the first thing you want to do is preheat your oven to 325. You want to make sure it's nice and warm before you start the process. You're also going to want to let your hash browns sit out for about 15 or 20 minutes to let them thaw just a little bit so that at the end of the time they'll be fully cooked. So you're going to take your hash browns and put them in an 8 by 13 pan. Also make sure that your hands are clean. We definitely want no germs in our food. And then you're going to just kind of spread them out, make sure they're even, make sure there's no lumps or clumps in it. And then I've already melted my butter. So you're going to take your butter and you want to spread it over all the hash browns. And you want to make sure not to pour it in just like one spot. You want to make sure that all the potatoes gets it, because it helps moisturize the potatoes so that when it's done cooking, they won't be too dry. And you just kind of spoon over all the potatoes. And as you're cooking this, you can also, it doesn't have to just be hash browns. You can put in other ingredients such as green peppers or onions or eggs, browns. You can also do brown sausage and eggs for like a breakfast casserole. So after you've put on the butter, you want to put on a little bit of salt and pepper. It adds just a little bit of flavor. You don't want to put too much because people like to salt and pepper it to taste, so you don't want to put too much on it. So after the salt and pepper, in a separate bowl, you want to mix your cream of chicken and your sour cream, your 8 ounces of sour cream, into a bowl, and you want to make sure it's thoroughly stirred, because you don't want it to be too much of the sour cream or too much of the cream of chicken. So once it's stirred, you're just going to take big dollops of the mixture, and you can kind of spread it around. You want to make sure that this mixture is spread over the entire casserole, because this also helps with the moisture of the potatoes so that they don't turn out too dry. So just going to take big scoops. And just put them all over, and then we're going to spread it. You want to make sure to get all of it, because you want to make sure you have plenty of moisture for the potatoes and the flavor. Okay. So you're just going to mix it and make sure that all the hash browns are covered. Then once you do that, you are going to put on the cheese, and it calls for 2 cups of cheese, the shredded cheese, and you don't want to use 2% or any sort of like a slim or a skim milk or anything like that. You don't want to use anything like that because the cheese will not melt all the way. So you're just going to take it and you're going to spread it over the whole thing. Make sure you use all the 2 cups so it's nice and cheesy. I've never tried it with mozzarella or provolone. I've never tried it with any other type of cheese, but you know, you can take the recipe and you can make it into your own and add different things to it for different occasions. So you're just going to do that, and you're just going to kind of pat it. Make sure it's nice and even across the whole casserole. Okay? And then you're going to take your crushed either cornflakes or Ritz. My kids like Ritz. I personally like the frosted cornflakes. I like the little bit of sweet to it. But they like Ritz, so I've already crushed up the Ritz. And you're just going to take it, and you're just going to put some on top. And depending upon, I mean, you can use as much of this as you want. The recipe calls for a ½ cup to 1 cup. But you can do it to taste, depending upon how crunchy you want it. So you just take it and you just sprinkle over all of it. And that looks about good. And that's all the ingredients. So once you do this, you're going to put this into the oven. It's already preheated at 325. It's going to cook for an hour until the sides are kind of bubbling and until all the cheese is melted. So I've already prepared one, and this one actually just came out of the oven, so it's hot. Make sure you use your safety gloves, and this is what it looks like after it's already been prepared and after it's finished. So I hope you use this. I hope you learned how to make hash brown casserole, and your family will love it.